you surprised Dre was suspended?
I was not surprised at all, but incredibly disappointed. Let me say this.
In him or the NBA?
The NBA.
Okay.
I'm disappointed in the NBA. Love me some Adam Silver, and we all know this. I'm disgusted with the NBA this morning. I'm sick and tired of everybody acting like this is just another game. It's not just another game. It's a playoff game. You got to do something far more flagrant than this to be suspended. Now, just for the record, I was on the phone with the league office this morning. Their position is clear. It was the excessiveness of the stomp, how demonstrative it was by Draymond Green, and it was also history. They took those two things into consideration. We all know this, just so now, because I got some notes here, guys. Obviously, he was suspended for the one game in the 2016 NBA Finals. We all get all of that. That's how the Cleveland Cavaliers won the damn series. They'd have lost that series in 5 games, but that's a different subject for another day. Draymond now has been called for 6 flagrant fouls and 27 technical fouls in 147 career playoff games. The fines that he has paid on top, in addition to his 3 suspensions, he's had to pay $1.26 million in fines. We understand that Draymond Green has a history. I'll get into that in a second. What I'm saying to the National Basketball Association is, we understand the investigators go, they interview Draymond Green, they interview Sabonis, they come back to the league office, they give them the information, and then Joe Dumars supposedly is the one that's making the decision. I don't want to hear that. This has Adam Silver's in on this too. And that's fine. You're the commissioner. My issue is you see what Sabonis has done. He's not some innocent bystander in all of this. Context, which I'll leave it to JJ to provide, definitely needs to be taken into consideration here. And then you got to take into consideration the fact it's the damn playoffs. And considering how great Sacramento has looked in this series and how great they have looked all season, for us to be sitting here talking about this and potentially how this will seal Golden State's fate is a damn shame. And I think it's the NBA acquiescing and capitulating to a lot of the public noise out there on too many damn occasions that influences decisions like this, which I think is atrocious. There's no reason for Draymond Green to be suspended for this game. I'm not surprised. I expected it. And in that regard, that's where I hold Draymond Green accountable, because if I know what the league is going to do, he damn sure knew it, which means you have to guard yourself and protect yourself, because when all is said and done, somebody might be looking at Draymond Green again and saying, you didn't know better? This is the second time you cost the Golden State Warriors a championship in some people's eyes. And he's going to have to live with that.
Well, first off, I was shocked that they suspended him a game, and I don't like to defend him at all. And he's put himself in all these situations over the years. Of course, we all know about that one series. But in this case, he should not have been suspended. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I mean, and what the stomp wasn't even that big a deal, and Sabonis got the whole thing started to begin with. Plus, Sabonis in the first half is making it sound like he got hit by a Joe Louis right hand with this dopey jaw. Oh,
by the way, for those who don't know, Joe Louis was the heavyweight champion of the world in the 1940s. Some people might not know.
Joe Louis, he's the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Some people might not know that.
I know Joe Louis.
Okay. Come on.
Some people might not know
who Joe Louis is.
Some people might not know it. I'm just.
We know who he is.
Okay.
But
he has a sternum contusion.
Oh, nonsense. He's nothing wrong with him. I mean, geez, play the game.
He's questionable for tonight.
Not questionable. You know he's playing. My God, it's tomorrow night. He's playing the game.
Just reading the injury report. I'm just reading the injury report.
The NBA, that's a joke. And I don't like to defend him. I have no choice. He should not have been suspended. This is ridiculous. Now, I disagree with you on one thing. I think Golden State's winning the next 2 games. I think this is a 7-game series. I think they're going to go out there tomorrow night. That building is tricky. First road game for this Sacramento team to play in playoffs in this scenario. I think Golden State's winning the next 2 games. I don't know if they're going to win a series. I think it's going 7 games. I think Golden State's going to overcome this Draymond thing. They didn't do it the one time. They're going to do it this time. They'll win the next 2. But I'm with you on your overall theme. I'll let you scream about the NBA more than I can. I am shocked that he was suspended for this 3rd game.
They spent 2 games trying to bait him. Sabonis, over and over. You go back to the end of game 1. He pulls down Draymond Green on the defensive rebound. They go down. Wiggins misses the potential game winner. I watched that clip 5 times yesterday from 3 different angles. Not only does he pull him down, As Draymond's trying to get up, he reaches around and grabs his chest so he can't run down the court. Earlier in the fourth, Draymond gets a defensive rebound, makes the outlet pass. Sabonis elbows him as he's running by and then flops to the ground. And if we have an alternate angle, I don't know if we do, of the play, it's very clear that Sabonis grabs Klay Thompson, tries to rip him down to the ground to draw a foul, and flops and ends up at Draymond's ankle and then makes a dirty basketball play. That is a non-basketball play, to grab someone's ankle. Malik Monk did it to Draymond. This was, I believe, part of the strategy. I'm not saying Sabonis is a dirty player, but there's some dirty plays here.
Okay.
There is some dirty plays. For the league to acknowledge that Draymond served a punishment, he got ejected, which I believe he should have been ejected, and I'm not condoning what he did.
Yes.
He served his punishment.
The Warriors believe he should have been ejected. They don't have a problem with it.
Nobody has a problem with that.
No, but that's important context that you're giving to the conversation.
And
I haven't heard anybody talk about
And I want to say something to you, too, because I agree that the Warriors can come back and win the next two games. To me, the referees have dictated too much in this series. They have allowed too much. I have no problem with physical play in the playoffs. But if Steph Curry's not allowed to move off the ball, if you're preventing players from running down the court and you're allowing that to happen, there's a play late in game two where Kevon Looney's right underneath the rim, ready for a rebound. Sabonis crashes in, pushes him in the back. They don't call the foul. That's a foul. The referees have dictated too much in the Kings' favor in this series. I really believe that. And I don't know if it's the home crowd or whatever. I rarely complain about the referees. In fact, I don't even know if I've ever complained about the referees. I think they're great. But if they're going to come back in this series, they've got to call the game the way the game is supposed to be called. I really believe that.
And they're not doing it, like you said, they're not calling the game the way that the game is supposed to be called. But the point is, those officials answer to the league. And so if you know that they're not calling the game the way the game is supposed to be called, the league knows that. How do you not take that into consideration when you consider what happened and you know, listen, JJ Redick, as brilliant as you are about basketball, the fact of the matter is that they know what the hell a Sabonis is doing just like you know. And to not have that contextually, to throw into the equation and to suspend Draymond Green down 0-2, as heated as this series is, with everybody transfixed on the series, I mean, it's the best series going as far as I'm concerned. I can't get enough of watching this series, despite what you pointed out. And to take out such a key ingredient to the Golden State Warriors' success in a playoff game like this, and to just act like, you know what, this is just some regular season game. These are the decisions that we make. This is what comes with it. I'm very disappointed in the league today. Very disappointed in them. There's no excuse for this. And the only thing that I can lean on, again, because I say softened up the league, and I don't mean the league is soft. I'm just talking about compared to what it used to be with the modifications that the NBA has thrown into the equation over the years. The fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, these things have happened because you're capitulating to a more attractive product that you're putting out there for the fans. You're reacting to what they say they want. I promise you, the fans want to see Draymond. Those who love him want to see him play. Those who hate him want to see him play and lose. But you want to see him. You don't want to see him home. And now the fans are deprived of it because of the decision like this. I think it's atrocious.
Yeah,
I really
I don't think I've ever seen you this frustrated.
I have, but okay.
Look, coaches, you see them in press conferences talking about a player getting calls or not getting calls. They're going to bat for their players.
Yeah.
I know Jeff Van Gundy talks about the officials a lot on the broadcast, and he has such a sharp and keen eye for that part of the game. It's not something I pay attention to. As a player, I never said to myself, oh, we got screwed by the officials, that's why we lost. No, in aggregate, there's so many plays in about. I don't believe that. But in aggregate, there's a reason that Draymond reacted the way he did. And I actually have a question. So he got ejected from game one of the Memphis game last year for making a play on Brandon Clark, right? Brandon Clark had a hard fall. I think it was a warranted ejection. Didn't end up getting suspended for game two. I'm trying to remember, and maybe there are, and you guys can maybe help me out. Maybe our producers can help me out on this. Outside of 2016, with the kicks and then the play on LeBron, what's the dirty plays in the playoffs for Draymond? Are there? We're talking about one incident in 7 years, and it's last year against Brandon Clark?
Right.
Why is the history factored in so much?
Because
we're talking about this season, this series right now. The context of this season and this series, he shouldn't have been suspended.
What you're highlighting is that it's great is really unfair to him. And you're absolutely right. There's no disputing that. What they will do, however, is they will point to how demonstrative he is, getting in the faces of the officials, barking at them all the time. Listen to me, I don't have an issue with it. That man does.
Oh, I do.
When he sits up there, when he complains about Draymond, enough already. I mean, I guess.
But he got a raw deal here. I've been fair. He got a raw deal.
No, I'm not talking about this. I'm just saying that when you look at things like you said, you're not one to be
We got into it last
right?
year.
Exactly, because that's how you feel.
I used the wrong word.
I understand that, but that's what you were pointing to. That's what they're pointing at. But a lot of people mistake
Can I
that
say
one
one thing?
incident is 16, and they assume that's what he's always been.
Do you feel like the history is warranted?
No, I don't. He should have gotten a break here. Here's what I totally disagree with you, though.
Okay.
The Warriors tomorrow night, they have a cause. That crowd's going to be crazy. They're going to get every call. They have an absolute cause. There is no way they're losing that game tomorrow night. And then they're going to have Draymond come back in game 4, and he's going to be crazy. He's going to play great. Sabonis is going to get all the foul calls. I'm telling you right now, I don't know if they're going to win. This series is going 2-2. We're going to see this game 5 back in Sacramento.
If the series goes 2-2, I believe the Warriors win the series. But they got to win these next 2 games, and I'm not so sure they win both of these. I'm not so sure they win game 3 without Draymond. Not against this Sacramento Kings team. I'm not so sure about it. And by the way, if you're going to let go of Draymond, you're going to suspend him. I mean, for grabbing the ankle, why not suspend Sabonis too?
He should have gotten, well, because of the history. Because of the history.
Yes. It's a bad decision by the NBA. It's not their finest hour. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.